mustard.
This is statistics, okay? This is statistics. Knoxville can back me up on this. Stats don't lie. I think he's the one who probably said that on some YouTube videos. Tiny, I'm pretty sure the problem with Tiny is he goes in, right? And then you're like, you want to go in, you want to go out over and over again. And Beast doesn't let you do that because you go in and he just roars you. And even if you don't roar him, you just keep axing over and over and over again. And Tiny's all about being tanky to like physical damage, and Beast just axes the shit out of you. So it's a strange sort of thing, but it does feel pretty nice against the Tiny. So, but as a core position, as a 4, obviously, I don't think you care if your 4 is countered that much.
Yeah, which now with this Ember coming out, that seems to be the Abed pickup. So Tiny looking like a 4, looking like a crit hero potentially.
I mean, theoretically, they could
still
flex it as an Arteezy Ember, right? Theoretically.
Arteezy Tiny.
Well, Arteezy Tiny.
1. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more likely for sure.
They did that. They did that this season, in against the cut. So I could see it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true. But Ice Vortex into Avatos as a core Tiny, that's going to help actually blow up a lot of these heroes, which, again, so far, the heroes, relatively speaking, are pretty tanky. Lesh, if he's AA blasted, is not going to be tanky at all, like Jenkins was talking about. And you can never Avatos the Abaddon. So we'll see how the Tiny actually fits in the grand scheme of things.
Tusk Lesh, I think that's a fairly good lane. If you want to run this Saberlight offlane Leshrac, it's you can fairly easily shard into stun. It's like the perfect AoE to set up for the stun. So it's always nice to have a ranged hero with Tusk, just because if he walks in and uses his icy hands, you can get a lot of right clicks off as they're running around the shards. So that's a decent lane. Also, if Lesh is mid, to the Tusk rotations will actually provide some sort of setup. So I think still this pick obviously lets you flex.
They opt for Bryle's Fabled Void Spirit to go toe-to-toe against Abed's Ember. Both teams using a lot of draft time. They only have about 20 and 30 seconds left of reserve.
Not sure how greedy EG wants to be with their position 4, but Mirana is set up by the Searing Chains into beautiful arrows.
I think
set something like that up.
The Abba kind of blocks that, though, is the only issue. I wouldn't necessarily want to pick into a counter, but could happen.
I mean, there's still like Earth Spirit. I don't know how often does Crit play Earth Spirit these days.
Oh
my God!
Okay.
Oh no!
Against a Lesh.
No!
Interesting.
The Ice Brood Mother is here.
This is cool. Okay, I mean, I'm really interested to see how this goes, because Undying is the counter pick in the carry position, so they can pick something that totally annihilates Brood in lane, like a Troll, for example, and then come to the GG. Come to like the late game, the mid late game. Void Spirit and Lesh are really good at clearing through the spiders. So because Void Spirit gets the cleave on his ult, and then Leshrac obviously has his Pulse Nova. So that's usually how people are countering Brood right now. Is you pick something that basically owns right clickers in the lane, like Troll, which is probably why they banned it, and then you pick heroes that kill the spiders in the mid to late game. You don't pick these like Svens that kill the spiders in the lane anymore. It doesn't feel like it actually does anything.
Pretty cool though.
Yeah,
and I mean, this has to be position 3 Lesh, right? Because of the AA, I imagine. It would feel pretty bad to have your position 1 countered by their position 5, which makes the Lesh not quite as good against Brood, because it'll be less farm intensive for him. But as long as he gets levels, still pretty good counter. And the fact that they nerfed the Aghanim Scepter on Brood, not that was as common a pickup as it used to be, but you don't get to unlock your max movement speed anymore. So a little bit easier to catch her these days.
Have you guys seen the like Greaves pipe build in action with this offlane Brood?
No, that sounds weird.
It sounds weird. It does sound weird, but what you don't realize is like you get double the effectiveness out of these items because you can heal your spiders. So basically what happens is your spiders become the hard carry, and then because you can make them tankier, and they do a crap load of damage now with the Silicon Bola. And so basically you get 2 heroes for the price of 1 with this hero. You get to be this offlane utility hero that heals people, but then also your spiders will carry you in the game because you're healing and buffing them, and like Solar Crest is another item that people are going, and it feels genuinely not balanced remotely when you see it, just because of the fact that you do two things extremely well: carry the game and be an aura offlaner.
All right, looks like the final pickup for EG is the old trusty Jug for Arteezy here, leaving Crit to pick up that tiny fly, likely on the AA, and yeah, we know how the others pan out here. Undying gets last pick of the draft. They only have 9 seconds of reserve, though, to figure out who is Tomato going to play.
Yeah, I mean, Juggernaut was a Tomato hero, right? I don't know how much they would want to have picked him against an AA, but Terrorblade. All right, it's been a hot minute since we've seen TB back in the fray.
Right. This is our first finished draft of Game 1, EG Undying. Suns fan, I'll go to you first. Who's getting it?
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I'm going to go EG, just... I don't know why. I'm going EG. I'm an analyst, by the way.
Great reasoning. Good. I'm going to go EG too. I think the Broodmother is not hard countered by this TB Abel lane. I think Brood's going to have a great game.
All right, fantastic stuff. With
he
that,
doesn't
let's
know
go
either.
ahead and let's get into a break. When we come back, we'll send it to people who may know a bit better. We have none other than Lyrical, GoDz, and Aui doing the TriCast with Pop-Tart on the Ops.
Welcome back, Dota fans. As the sprays go out already in the mid lane, it is Evil Geniuses facing off against Undying, a match that's going to have wide-ranging implications, not just for NADPC, but also, you know, TI points going forward, a heck of a lot of stuff. I'm joined with two wonderful people as well, Aui and GoDz. Parker, just to start things off, thoughts on like the broader implications of what this match could mean? How are you feeling about these two teams facing off against each other?
Very excited. You know, it feels like we've been building up to this throughout, you know, season 2. There's these big 3 teams in NA. The question was, is anyone going to contest against them? The answer is no. So now we've got EG, Undying, Quincy Crew battling out in these last 2 weeks. So very, very excited to see which of those 3 teams, 2 of whom are going to be going to the major.
Well, we'll have to see what ends up happening. And I think we got a spider problem, Aui. Some issues potentially. Do you think that this pick caught Undying off guard?
Maybe a little bit. I think they have a good idea of how to deal with Brood. I think Jenkins was mentioning on the panel, but you don't actually deal with this hero by picking heroes like Sven that kill spiders in lane. This hero doesn't have spiders until level 6 now. And then they have like good spider killers later on with both the Leshrac and the Void Spirit. I think what we'll see here is, since it's an Abaddon 5, well, what caught me off guard basically is that they picked Juggernaut into Leshrac and Tuskar, which are both sort of considered like Juggernaut counters in lane. So I think what that means is, because they have this Broodmother versus the Terrorblade Abaddon lane, they're confident in moving Crit down there early to kill. And we'll see like an early trialing coming out from EG.
Interesting. That'll be...
Yeah, so I think you'll see like Crit just pull his first wave. I think he'll get level 2 and he'll just go on the gank train.
Yeah.
They can't zone a Broodmother.
And I feel like you've got this Spirit versus Spirit matchup mid where the rune control is going to be so important. So I would expect Crit to spend a lot of time around that mid lane once we reach that like 6-minute mark.
Yeah, for sure. I think whenever you play, like these 3 mids in particular, I know in pubs, like they're very good at calling for runes, both calling for runes and manipulating the wave in order to get their runes in a good position. Crit actually, he pulls it into the tower here, which I think is sort of unexpected. I thought he was going to do a good old pull around, but maybe he has a slightly different game plan than leaving his Brood really early. I actually don't play much with this Brood here at all, so I don't quite know the intricacies of it that well.
No, it'll be something interesting to watch, as, you know, a very different idea. Obviously, Ice, a very accomplished Brood player. We've only had one other game so far in the DPC that we've seen the Broodmother get picked up, and that was in the Quincy Crew versus 4 Zoomers matchup. In that one, it was played with the Sven, which was more of this, like, hard carry, farming, AFK-ish type hero. And it feels like with Jug, you can maybe be a little bit more aggressive, particularly with Ember also, with these 2 cores playing with the Brood, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. I like it a lot more. I think in the series that you mentioned earlier, like Brood takes up a lot of the space that these hard carries, Battle Fury, Cleave heroes want to farm. Right. And Jug can like play more aggressively on his side of the map or deeper into the enemy territory. Like Brood, after he takes his top tier, he really just wants to stay top. Maybe his own Ancients even when it's dangerous. That's also your carries for in top lane. They're going to Abaddon though.
Trying to get the kill here. Can they bring down Dubu? That's tanky Abba, and he's going to just salve up and back off afterwards. So at least at the early goings, we are seeing a slight lead right here into the favor of Evil Geniuses. But, you know, there's been points at this point in the game, it feels like, where EG is completely stomping out teams. You're seeing that Undying able to stay with them out of the laning state. There hasn't been any, like, clear outdraft type of thing going on.
It's definitely one of the parts of the game where EG is very scary. Their laning prowess is, I would say, almost unmatched in the world. They're one of the best laning teams, just hands down. Players like Crit, Fly, just one of the best lane securing supports. Everyone is so mechanically sound. You want to just make sure you go even with EG in lanes.
Yeah, and they pick for it too, right? Like this team, they know their strengths, and I think Bulba in particular is very big on those lanes. So like they'll pick for it, they'll think about it a lot to go over it in replays, and you know, as a result, like it's what you said, they're just really good at securing those lanes.
Well, so far at least, not really any of those rotations that we've seen. The bounty runes getting picked up now again. Abed has one to go back to afterwards out of the mid lane. And meanwhile, Bryle also goes and secures his own. We'll see if there's any rotations around that 6-minute rune or something like that, maybe. Or maybe you have somebody from Undying coming over to try and deny Abed another water room or something like that. But at least for now, very static.
I think the kill threat on the Spirit Heroes is pretty low. Although I will say Abed's doing quite well. I think this matchup is pretty even. Maybe even slightly Void Spirit favored just for the lane, but
he's half a level ahead.
Maybe, yeah, he has a lot of denies on Bryle, and not only that, they got both the water runes, as you mentioned, like Crit's checking those, and Bryle's low with an empty bottle now.
And no bounty rune to go back to either, so maybe we'll see some action and somebody coming to refill his or something, but for now, at least, just going to salve up, back away, and one of those things where, you know, good start to the lane can compound into more afterwards as well. As already gets another deny there onto Bryle. Trying to get towards that level 6 is
poking his A, you know.
Quick little jump, Fly, gonna get caught. Arteezy with the spin now. Moon doesn't have a snowball to use to get out of this one. The cold feet combos. Oh, but a good save by Saberlight, almost enough. No, Fly gets first blood.
Yeah, just an unfortunate misspell there from Moon Meander. I think that shard can be tricky. You always have to like throw it a bit further than you think you should. And top lane, this is just manning up on a meta Terrorblade.
With Crit here as well, they're gonna get the kill. I don't know if they thought they had more damage than they did, but they managed to bring down Tomato.
Yeah, this is their last pick Terrorblade. Like he saw every hero, and like if you pick a carry last pick, I think one of the necessary parts of picking a hero is that it has to win its lane. If this hero does not win its lane, I think it's very hard for it to carry the game. Like carries need to be able to farm, right? And if they're not winning the lane, you don't contribute anything to your team before that.
I think that's also where EG set up well, because when they pick this Brood, they ban out the Troll, one of the better counters, kill up top, and they also ban out Monkey, and I don't think there was like an obvious good carry pick to have a good laning stage.
No.
Yeah, it's weird because they have this Leshrac offlane, right? So the carry, it has to be someone who can like sort of frontline for you. Like Void Spirit won't frontline, Leshrac can't frontline versus AA, and it's very hard to pick a carry that can frontline versus AA as well. Like Terrorblade looks weird, but actually, since you said that, I'm starting to understand it because they need something that can survive versus AA. At least you have Sunder versus that hero.
Right. And that's something which, you know, hopefully will be helpful for him later on in the game. But at least now, losing one life, still doing fine in the lane on Tomato. You know, ahead of the Brood, but that death definitely hurting. And Abed gonna go on over and seek the bounty rune and the arcane rune away from Bryle. Bryle just not getting any luck early on here, as he was able to secure up top side, but it just spawns bottom.
And there's just such a difference in the map right now. It's because Leshrac, I mean, I think he should be more self-sustainable versus AA juggling, but I could be wrong. This AA hero is like surprisingly good in lane. And with the first blood going over to Radiant in the bot lane, maybe it's just hard there. But Tuskar hasn't left this lane at all, and Crit has checked, like, he's stolen the top water rune, he checked the top rune at 6 minutes, and he took his own bounty rune. Like, he's been mobile around, and they haven't gotten anything out of it in bot lane for Undying.
Every time I watch bot lane, just then, like, Jug was just zoning out both offlaners by himself. Like, Moon and Saberlight were getting kind of bullied by Arteezy and Fly, so it doesn't even feel like him staying bottom is actually, like you say, winning them this lane at all.
Right.
Yeah, honestly, I think this is just a laning out skill. Like, I don't think Juggernaut AA is supposed to do that well versus Tuskar Leshrac lane. I think, if anything, like, Leshrac should be starting to pressure. I mean, there's some, like, ping stuff here, right? Like, Saberlight's in EU and Arteezy, like, moved to the East Coast to be on top of the server.
Right.
But still, like, this is a lane I think the Undying expected to pressure.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch now. They do bring that third hero down bottom, and they were able to come and contest the small pole, which had been stacked up, and now this wave coming into the tower, but Arteezy catches this one as well and is going to pull it back a little ways also. So the sort of battle of the poles going on, and this is also with Tomato completely leaving the lane open, and Ice is alone up here.
It's a very dangerous, I think, decision to make for Undying. Like, they're going to go all in on this kind of tri-lane bottom/mid and just be playing super active now, but Crit knows that. He's just going to be hunting all the time.
Bryle, he's got to back away. I mean, Abed is just playing with no fear at all. Literally everybody is around him with the exception of the Lesh, and jumps in, finds the kill onto Dubu, and then remnants away in the same breath. Really,
that was fancy. He got the damage on both remnants. Like, he wouldn't have killed him because he had range drop, but he hit both of them. And Saber actually like, the thing about this game is, like, I don't see how Undying can play the map without bottom lane winning. Like, their entire game plan is contingent on them winning the bot lane. Because you know Terrorblade, like, he can do fine versus Brood lane. I think it went a bit worse than I expected, maybe because he has an Abaddon 5 and it doesn't match up that well. But they're going to go even mid. Void Spirit's going to be able to make some moves. But if you have a hero going to jungle, like, you need to have pressure on one lane. And it's not like they can just, like, they can rotate Abaddon, but, like, Jug's going to look at them and laugh.
Right.
So now, like, I don't understand what Undying can do. Like, they've moved this Last Strike up top. He's just hit 6. Brood can't really kill him. Like, the spiders don't do any damage when you post Nova them, because they just die. But I don't see their game plan anymore.
I mean, you see the net worth, and it's kind of like, you know, EG have effectively won all 3 lanes. Like you say, just a lot of kind of outskill in some of the individual plays. Abed going in, grabs the bounty room with a remnant in front of 2 enemy heroes, and he may get a moon kill here.
I mean, remnants again, why not? You know, he doesn't have a ton of mana, but it's enough to kill Moon because literally nobody is moving over to help him. The chains, waits for it, sleight of fist again, and that's the kill as Saberlight goes down to Ice up top. Wow, this is looking rather good for EG.
This is a slacking, you know, as they say.
It might just be.
Yeah.
I think, like,
yes,
I think like, we're looking forward to a good match between these two teams, but I think Undying need to revisit the draft a bit. They don't have, like they first to the last track, they last pick a carry that, like, I think Terrorblade can do okay in lane, but he's definitely not winning the lane for Brood, right?
Yeah. And
now, like, your first two has all the responsibility to win its lane and, like, carry the tempo in the mid game, and then your last pick carry is just gonna go jungle. Like, the theory behind the draft doesn't really make sense to me. I think, like, I mean, I played with a lot of these guys, pretty much all of them, and I think they're very good at adapting on the fly, especially in terms of drafts. So we see something better coming out of them later.
Oh my goodness, nice kill from Abed. They had the Ice Blast afterwards to clean up just in case they needed it. They're taking top tier 2 at 10 minutes uncontested right now. Things are looking so good for EG, and Undying just don't have anywhere to play at the moment.
Is this the earliest tier 2 in NA DPC?
It
like, they're gonna take the shrine before 11 minutes. That's a lot of EXP. Crit? Okay, Crit's providing some mercy. He doesn't want to take that. But like, that's a really early tier 2, and the shrines give EXP every minute now.
Oh my god,
Crit
was
sussing out the ward. Yeah, that was cool.
Crazy.
Meanwhile, Ice is going tier 3s. He's like, oh, okay, I got a tier 2, no one's here. Let's just see if I can get a tier 3 now. Why not?
Why not? Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is that build that, you know, we heard Jenkins talking a little bit. Already has the hood done. Curious if he goes for the full pipe or not. It looks like it's Medallion on the way first.
This creep has been chasing Crit for like a minute.
Oh, he knows where that ward is now.
And we can really see, like, the difference between the last time Brood was played at NA DPC and this one, right? Like, even though Jug's tower was taken, he can still sit down here and pressure out this lane.
Right.
And in the meantime, like, Isis actually gets to play Dota, you know? He gets to push towards that tier 3. And, like, this map, if you just go to Undying's vision, like, it's so awful to play.
Right.
Like, every lane's gonna push in for you. They're gonna have top pressure at tier 3. If you want to defend it, like, you have to go back so far, which means you lose all map control, and you're just running between your tier 3 top and your tier 1 bottom, your tier 1 mid. They're not gonna cross the river this game, it feels like.
Well, this is not looking good, and that's not a recipe for success. Again, oh my god, Abed might kill them all. Saberlight, I mean, they got to get out of here. Dubu's trying to get out.
Tomato?
The catch on the other side, they connect onto Tomato. He's trying to escape. Saberlight will fall as they jump in. Oh, Tomato! Got to be careful about that Sunder. Arteezy walks in, gets the Omni Slash off for the kill. They do bring down Crit on the other side, but I mean, this is still looking rather rough.
Dude, that Omni Slash cast range, that Keen Optic.
Yeah, that was really far. I thought that was Swift Slash for a second, right? That was really far.
Even with the Keen Optic, I was like, that looks really...
Oh, he has a Keen That's hilarious, actually. No, because like you should be able to sunder him before he Omni Slashes you. I think that's like a regular in that matchup.
Whoa.
But if you have this Keen Optic, you know, Arteezy with the 5-head brain plays.
So this this stat right here, it's not only the fastest tier 2 tower taken at DPC, but the second fastest in the patch. So they're playing quite well on EG, and I can't help but think again, like the bans that were banned out, it was the Brood counters afterwards, like. I don't know if like, you know, this is something that they've theory crafted, that Terrorblade is like this answer to Brood, but it clearly didn't work this time. Ice looks like a freaking maniac.
He's
just doing whatever he wants. Yeah, they can't kill him.
They got his courier. Worth it. The thing is, like, they're doing the right play on Undying, right? They're trying to group their heroes, their strong heroes, the Last Strike and the Void Spirit, and go kill this annoying spider.
Right.
But in the meantime, like, the EG supports are just running rampant over the triangle, and it's hard to play these games. I think they have to just keep going for these. Dude,
they gotta run.
I can't think with these chat lines. I can't imagine being the players and like, you know, sometimes it's even like your voice. Like if I was playing against Arteezy, like I'd spam his voice line. You mess up their comms, they think Arteezy's talking. He's just saying like stop jungling.
I like that. That's great.
Undying, they should chain smokes. Like they need to get a smoke on one hero and then just spend all the resources to like chain it up and keep getting kills. Because if the map stays like this, like EG, like usually I say like, you know, when you're ahead, you take like 75% of the map. You can try. EG literally have like 90% of this map. Like, yeah. Undying won't kill a single neutral creep this game, and you can't play Dota like that.
Even in this area, like this triangle here, it's not safe. And down bottom, they go in and get the kill. That's what they needed.
They really need this. They need to chain smokes now. Like they have no other way to come back in this game but to kill one hero and run at them while EG's weak.
Arteezy with the line, "I'm dead." Coming to Team Secret. I like it. That's good. Well, 5,000 gold lead. Sense of humor about his Ice again dives onto Tomato, the whole host of spiders, and they're just keeping him stuck here in this tower at 1,000 HP now, tier 3. Like every time they leave, it comes back in. They do get this kill onto Moon, trying to take down Abed. He's so low. Can they kill him? They almost do, and they finally bring him down, but it came at the cost of 3. And look up top. I mean, Ice is taking the tower.
Yeah, Brow's terribly home.
This Terrorblade can't deal with this Brood at all. The third spell from Brood does magic damage, and Terrorblade, very bad versus magic damage, as we all know.
Oh man, trying to kill the spiders, gets a couple of them, but it's so little gold now too. Yeah, Brood's a special slice of hell to deal with at this point in the game.
And you surely, like, I mean, it's just not good for how you're progressing, and just also mentally not good. This outpost being controlled by EG is giving them just a continuous XP advantage the longer this game goes on as well. So Undying know that. They are going to chain smoke and look for Ice once again.
Tries to get him. The bull is there. Snowball staying on. Fly gets the Ice Blast, but is it going to be enough? Oh yeah, it's going to be enough when Abed comes in afterwards. Bryle now in some trouble. Tries to back out, could go back in with the Dissimilate. Tomato's in the area as well, with Metamorphosis popped, but Bryle getting chased through the trees, has a mana pool. Oh, he's eventually gonna get ran down to the kill. Arteezy cleans up, and Undying, they just have to back away. They can't do anything.
Yeah, the other thing about that outpost, you can also TP to it. So they go and Ice up top, and well, like 3-man TP, and suddenly EG have a nice 5v5 fight.
And that was, I think that was a good fight start for Undying, right? Brao managed to find the Ancient Apparition, and they killed him off. But yes, as he said, it's just too much. Map control this patch, like if you lose a tier 2 this early, the enemy basically gets your tier 2 if they take that stride. Right. And all of a sudden, like your line on the map, they can't be pushed forward at all. EG, no, this is a free Roshan. How do you contest this? Once they get Roshan, like when they barrel down the lane, I don't think you can contest them there either.
Well, the thing to me that seems so interesting about this is that I don't even know if they need to barrel down a lane. Like, it feels like Ice is just keeping them stuck on this side up here, because if they ever, like, leave top lane, he just takes the tower. And then, like, you can't really, like, if other 4 players can play over on this side, and you know, you're never really playing Dota anymore. Even if you're winning a fight in your triangle, you're losing your tier 3 tower.
For sure. And the problem here is like they're so far behind that the 4-man of EG can easily fight them, right? Normally, if you have a Brood, you're like, you sort of have to 4v5. It's like basically playing with the techies at times. But not this game. Like, EG's 4-man is so strong. They burst a hero reset, they will always win 4v5 in these fights.
And now without this tier 3 top tower, well, it's on 100 health, it's about to go down. EG are actually just going to go high ground with the Aegis.
Why not?
Oh,
Saberlight goes down. Ice finds the kill. No buyback. 30 seconds away from it. And at 17 minutes, they're going to take this first set of racks. And there's just nothing Undying can do about this. There's way too much damage. Good jump in. Kills the spiders. Stop juggling. Let's push as Albed hitting some neutral creeps. But yeah, they're gonna get the racks and leave Arteezy's spray on the stairs going out.
I gotta say, I really do like Ice's build this game. I think a lot of Broods, they've been like sort of over-indexing on building these tanky teamfight items. I don't think like Greaves in general is a pretty expensive item. In this game, instead of buying the Arcane Boots, he's bought Treads plus a Medallion. I think this build just scales better. Like, you hit a lot with Brood, and having Treads or some attack speed actually makes you a lot tankier hero just because of your first skill. This build seems more in sync with his like his tool set.
More balance, it sounds like, rather than going all in on the utility.
Well,
oh, they caught crit mid. That's a good job.
Want to get the kill, looking for more afterwards. They find the Ancient Apparition, trying to chain some things together here.
Okay.
They take down both supports, but oh man, that Maelstrom damage.
That was a 5-man AA blast, so they can't progress forward at all right now. No. They have to though. Like, this is their meta. If they do not have meta, it's just another rack's dead. So they have to be able to push forward and get something on the map now.
That's a tier 1 tower likely to fall here, although they are bringing in Arteezy.
I think EG are going to fight this.
Gilly Ward, this is scary. Bryle now tries to get the Remnant, not going to be able to connect with that stun, but the jump in. Looking for more, don't give up anything for free. Arteezy still chasing, the Omni slash out, connects onto one, Ice Blast afterwards, gonna catch Bryle, snipes him dead. Yule Scepter to try and keep alive Bryle a little bit longer. Moon will manage to finish the TP out, but Bryle not so lucky.
Well, you know, Undying, you can see, you know, they're doing the right moves. They're just way too far behind from this laning stage. Like, making that 5-man aggressive smoke play mid, they go for the tier 1 tower, they get it with the Metamorph, but EG just able to come in and pounce with all their high-level, overly farmed heroes, and you know, a 10k gold lead, a Rax advantage at 20 minutes in is just too much, it feels like, for Undying to cope with.
And I think the good moves on Undying are definitely there. Like, they're showing that they are a team that compete with EG, but as you said, like, they're just so far behind. Like, I don't know how they're supposed to play this draft, to be honest.
Right. Well, and you saw right there as well, most Brood played games is Ice number 3 right now. And has one of the highest win rates with it as well. You know, when this hero starts to actually become a viable hero again, these guys that have played a bunch of games on it, they start to become that much more deadly to play against and to draft against. And now, going in for a second set of racks at 20 minutes. Yule Scepter lift up, Ice Blast afterwards, gets applied to 4 separate heroes. Tusk already going down, Tomato dropping down lower and lower to that Ice Blast. Crit gets the Abatos and connects to kill Tomato. Oh, and GG's just going to be called. They've had enough. On to game 2.
Well, maybe we need to stop hyping up some of these series, because so far, game 1 at least, EG, this is looking like how they played the major. You know, they were just steamrolling over everybody until they, you know, ran into IG and their comeback in that best of 5 grand finals. But this EG is what we saw at the major up until that point.
Mentally though, I think that there's a lot of like sort of things that could be done to like just sort of re-hype up the team afterwards. It feels like with this type of a game, if you're Undying, I could well imagine Moon just being like, guys, don't worry, it's just a Brood draft, that's my bad or something. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like this is an easier type of thing to sort of brush off your shoulders than if they got a draft that they wanted and they just got stomped like this in that case.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think the mental reset will be very good. I know Dubu in particular is really good at like, he understands that even if something isn't his fault, sometimes like taking a bit more responsibility will lead to a better outcome, and he's very good at that. because he was coaching me for a while, and like, you know, something bad would happen in the series. He'd be like, guys, it was my bad. Don't worry about it. Let's just go next. I take responsibility for this. In my head, I'm just like, dude, this was my bad. Like, I played like shit. But Dubu will like make me feel better, and it would lead to good results, right? Because Dota's a team game. Like, you need to make something greater than the sum of your parts. And, you know, I have faith in Undying in doing that. I think they can do it.
Especially, I think what you're saying, when you have some more inexperienced players, I think players like Bryle in the mid lane, who I don't think had his best game. Like, he kind of slightly lost that 1v1 matchup. Yeah, I think there were other factors in play outside of it. But, you know, I think you really need to try and pump up those young, kind of more inexperienced players on your team.
Well, for EG, it's business as usual as they take care of it, and Undying going to need to see if they can reset mentally after that shellacking for sure. We'll see if the same thing happens in game number 2, but first, back to the panel, hear what they say about that one. But first, to a quick break. See you all in a few.